Flair cutting promos on me. So, Coach, I had to really go back in my memory and say, okay, bro, what did you do? What did you say? Because I'm always doing something or saying something to piss somebody off, Coach, you know?
It's your specialty.
Yeah. I think this is what I said, Coach.
Okay.
I think he got it from this.
Okay.
I was doing a show with Dr. Chris from Sportskeeda. And Dr. Chris brought up, listen, now that Cena is going to be going for, the all-time record for championships, he's going to go for, beating Flair. Do you think the WWE will have Ric Flair on the show? Now, my knee-jerk reaction to that, Coach, was I laughed out loud. Like, that was my knee-jerk reaction. And what I said is, I said, listen, bro, there needs to be some kind of a cutoff date of bringing these legends back. And I said, I think 80 should be the cutoff, Coach. I mean, I think it should be a lot sooner than that. Coach, I've already said at 65, I'm not watching wrestling anymore.
Correct.
So when I say at 80 years old, like that should I think I'm being generous.
Very.
So I think that's what he took offense to when I said we should be cutting these legends off at 80 years old. I'm not sure Coach, I swear I don't know what I said to trigger him. I really don't.
So on any of your shows, you never said at any point kind of that Cena would be the greatest overall champion of all time? Nothing like that.
No, I just said 80 should be the cutoff, and I don't think that's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. So he's 76 right now. He's 76 years old. He was born February 25th, 1949. He just had a birthday. No, it's not. And I think that when you deal with certain talent and people, and I use Rick in that fashion because I used to be very, very close with him. Were you close with Rick? Like, I was really close with him, like really close.
No, I mean, we never, ever, ever had an issue working together, but I wouldn't consider us best friends, no.
Okay, so back when I was there, I did a lot of things for him throughout, the tumultuous years, let's call them that. And the one thing I realized, I love Ric Flair. And when Dark Side of the Ring came out like 2 years ago, remember that story's 20 years old, and it didn't paint him in a good light, but it's 20 years old. I also don't believe in cancel culture either. And he reached out, he's like, Coach, I'm getting shredded over this thing. It happened 20 years ago. I felt bad for him, but that's how close we were that he felt he could he was like, hey, anything you can do, like put in a good word for me? And I was like, at the time, what am I supposed to do? The reason I tell that story is because I feel like Rick and and you could sit other legends down from the NBA, Major League Baseball, whatever. And once they get to a certain age and they feel like they've been left behind and nobody's talking about them anymore, they get very, very bitter. And they get very, what about me? And I feel like in the wrestling business, because wrestling never stops, I feel like Rick, the last couple of years, has kind of been in that position. So when he hears or reads anything that he can think about him, when clearly what you said was not that, I think he gets in his feelings, and that's why he posted a video or pictures of him lifting weights with a caption as if he's going to come back and, in some reality, Vince, win a World Heavyweight Championship at 76 years old, which people around him, and he's got a lot of good people around him. A lot, but I don't think they can ever control his mind. And right now, I still think, how many times have you seen on social media, he'll post pictures of himself from 30 years ago or 40 years ago. Say, when you're the man, you're still the man. I wish that Rick could just enjoy these last few years, whatever he has left, because he is a good person at heart.
Yeah.
I just think his wrestling ego over the years has never stopped.
Yeah. Well, Coach, first of all, I don't have any ill will towards Rick at all. I'm always putting him over, always putting Charlotte over.
Yes.
I don't have I am a huge fan of his to this day. I just got to be honest. I don't know how he thinks people have forgotten Ric Flair. I don't think anybody will ever forget Ric Flair. Ric Flair is still talked about to this day. So, if he feels that way, I'm telling you, I beg to differ, because Ric Flair is spoken about every single week in the wrestling circles. Nobody has forgotten about Ric Flair.
No doubt. We all love him. We love what he did. Hell, the one story I tell more than anything is when I got to wrestle him in Afghanistan. That's something I can never take away. Now, he probably would like to forget about the match, but I've never forgotten about the match. But that's I just think sometimes, Vince, in the world of social media, like 20 years ago, you never would have seen a 75-year-old man tweeting on Twitter. It just wouldn't have happened, right? So I just think it's unfortunate, and hopefully he can hear things like this and not us getting taken out of context like we always are. I'm like, Coach said, and take like one sentence, Ric Flair, you are loved. And I think if he just leaned into appearances and autograph shows and things of that, he can make a very, very nice living. He posted a picture, I think, when he was talking about you, that he's now on the AEW bandwagon. Is that right? Is he at AEW now?
Yeah, well, I know he did appear on AEW when he was doing some work for them. I have no idea what kind of a deal he has, but he is definitely involved with AEW. Yeah.
Okay. A couple of super stickers we got to get to. Let's go to Behind the Script podcast first.